This is a fully white inventory or loadout for CS2, and let's get right into it. So starting with the city side, for the pistols we have the USP whiteout in minimal wear, and this is definitely the best white USP in CS2, but it is pretty expensive, so another option would be the USP stainless in minimal wear, which goes for just under $10. The next one is the P250, and we are also going for the whiteout in minimal wear, and this is the obvious choice, but just like the USP, it is very expensive, so if you want a budget option, the P250 Franklin in factory new is perfect, and it only costs $2. For the 5.7 we have the Kami in factory new, which is another cheap skin, and it's probably the best white skin for the 5.7. This is just $2 and it looks very nice. This video was sponsored by Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a CSGO trading platform where you can trade your old rusty CSGO skins for some new shiny ones in just a few seconds. The way it works is pretty simple. You select the skins you want to trade and you select the ones you want to get. You click trade and it's done. If you use my code OZNI on the website, you get a bonus of up to $5 for absolutely free when you trade on the website. And you also get a 35% bonus when buying balance. On top of that, they have daily, weekly and monthly giveaways in the freebies page. The link to the website is in the description, and thank you Skins Monkey for sponsoring this video. For the dual Berettas we have the stain in factory new, which are just 50 cents. This is a fully white skin and it looks very shiny in CS2. For the Deagle we have the print stream, which for me is the best option, but it is very expensive, so if you want something cheaper, the Mecha Industries is the perfect replacement, and it is pretty much fully white and it looks very good. Going over to the mid tier, in this section I personally equipped 2 shotguns and 3 SMGs. So for the shotguns first, we have the Mag 7 Fire Starter in minimal wear, which is fully white and it only costs about 50 cents. For the next one we have the XM Black Tie in minimal wear, and this is a black and white skin. It's not fully white, but it's the most white skin that I found for the XM, and this is just $1. Going over to the SMGs, we have the MP9 Airlock in minimal wear, which is a pretty nice skin. I actually really like it, and it only costs $4.5. For the MP7 we have once again the whiteout in field tested. It is about $9 and it does have some scratches, but the minimal wear version is a lot nicer. However, it costs around $70, which is very expensive for an MP7, so in my opinion you should go for the field tested version. And for the last SMG we have the UMP Arctic Wolf in factory new. This is just $1.5 and this is definitely the best looking white skin for the UMP, and the only reason it's this cheap is because, well, it's a UMP and no one really uses the UMP, so that's basically why. Going over to the city side rifles, for the FAMAS, for me it is a very easy choice. It has to be the Mecha Industries. It is the cleanest white skin for the FAMAS and it is also pretty cheap. For the M4A1S I prefer the print stream, but just like the Deagle it is very expensive, so once again, just like the Deagle, if you want a cheaper option, you can go for the Deagle Mecha Industries, which also looks pretty good, and it's actually the one that I'm using right now. For the M4A4, I like the Asimov in field tested, but it is about $160, so it is pretty expensive, which means that a cheaper option would be the Neonor in minimal wear for $15, and both of these are not fully white, but it's pretty hard to find a fully white skin for the M4A4. Maybe you have the Urban DD Pet, which is just 40 cents, but it does not look that great. For the YOG, I like the Arctic Wolf, which is basically the same skin that I chose for the UMP. And last but definitely not least, for the OP, it has to be the Asimov. It is orange as well, but there aren't any fully white OP skins, so this one is the best one for me, but a cheaper option would also be the Neonor, which isn't also fully white, so this is basically the same thing that we chose for the M4A4. The Asimov is my preferred choice, but a second option would be the Neonor. Now going over to the T side, in the pistols the only difference from the city side is that we are using a Glock and a Tech 9. So for the Glock, my favorite one is the Wasteland Rebel, but it is not fully white, it also has some brown, so the Glock Franklin is probably the one that fits this loadout best, and it is also much cheaper. For the Tech 9, my absolute favorite is the Bamboo Forest. It has a bit of green, but let's be honest, it's basically fully white, and it's such a nice skin and so OG as well. I have been using this skin for so many years, so this is definitely my choice for the Tech 9. Now going over to the mid tier on the T side, the difference from the City side is that we have a Nova and a Mac 10. So for the Nova I chose the Polar Mesh, which is just 15 cents for the factory new version, and you don't really need to waste any more money because honestly there aren't many options either. And for the Mac 10 I personally go with the Kolf skin in factory new, which is also super cheap. This only costs 35 cents and I think it fits this loadout perfectly. And now lastly we are going over to the rifles, and the difference from the City side is that we have a Galil, an AK and the XG. So first things first, for the Galil I personally like the Tuxedo. It is super cheap and it basically fits this loadout perfectly. It's fully white and very nice for sticker combos as well. For the AK, my absolute favorite is the Vulcan, which is also blue and black, but there isn't any fully white AK skin, so this one is the top one for me. But an option that will be much cheaper, because the Vulcan is pretty expensive, would be the AK-47 Asimov, which obviously is not fully white, just like with the Op, but it does look very nice and it's pretty much just white and orange. And for the last rifle we have the XG, and the best and basically the only white skin that we have for this weapon is the Integrail, which is not even fully white. It has a lot of red and other colors, but it is the most white skin for this weapon, and the thing is, it is very expensive, so if you don't want to go for it, I totally understand, but this is the one I'm choosing for the loadout. And lastly we are going over to the knife and glove combo. So for my absolute preferred combo I have the Karambit Damascus Steel with the driver gloves Snow Leopard, which for me looks very insane. This combo is really nice looking, I really love it. Damascus Steel shines a lot in CS2, and these gloves look very nice if they don't have any scratches. But the thing about this combo is that it is very expensive, so a cheap combo would be the Survival Knife Stained with the hand wraps duct tape. I really love the stained skin in CS2, it shines a lot, and these gloves are also nice. But obviously you can change the survival knife, you can literally use any knife that has the stained skin, so if you want something like a falchion you can also go for it, but my personal favorite is a survival knife. So this is basically it for the white inventory. If you guys enjoy skin content, make sure to leave a like in this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.